Good morning all. Today we will discuss about cell theory. Before starting the cell theory, we must be knowing that cell is one of the fundamental unit of life. Cell is the smallest unit of living matter. Cell is also regarded as the smallest unit which has all the properties or characteristics of a life. So it is a basic unit of life, having all the properties of life or a living creature. All organisms are composed of structural and functional unit of life. They are called as cells. So in all the living matters, the basic unit or the common unit is the cell. So the cell may be single-celled organism or that organism may be multicellular. But we will find cell in all the cases. The body of some organism like bacteria, protozoan and some algae are made up of single cell, that is only one cell. So such organisms are regarded as unicellular organisms. While the body of fungi, plants, animals, they are composed of many cells. So they are referred to as multicellular organisms. If an organism is having only one cell, single cell, it will be called as unicellular organism. If it is made up of many cells, it will be regarded as multicellular organisms. Generally, this is a common general statement that the organisms which are simple in nature are unicellular, while the highly evolved organisms, they are multicellular, that is having special cell for particular function. So during the course of development or even during the earlier development of an organism, from a common cell the cells are divided and their fate is destined. Their fate has been locked, and some cells they are functioning for a particular cause while the other cell they function for other cause. So when we will discuss the earlier development of an organism, at that time we will focus on it. How from a common cell or from a zygotic cell different types of cells are formed. Similar thing we will also discuss while discussing about immunology. From a common hematopoietic stem cell, the different types of cells are formed. Some of them are RBCs and some of them are WBCs and other modified cells. So from a common cell, the different types of cells are formed because this process is called as differentiation. But they all originate from a common starting point, that is zygotic cell. Now the cell they varies in size and structure as they are specialized to perform different function. This is in case with particularly in case with multicellular organisms. But the basic component of the cell are common to all the cell. That is, it will have, if it is an eukaryotic cell, it will have nucleus, it will have the organelles that are present in all the type of cells. Milestones in the discovery of cell. Robert Hooke is the first name that comes to mind when discussing about the cell theory. So before the discovery of cell theory, it was the Hooke who for the first time he observed the cells. So around 1665, the English scientist he discovered and coined the term cell while examining thin slice of cork under self-designed compound microscope. So he has designed his own microscope, and while observing under that microscope a cells that were of a dead cells of organism, while observing under a microscope he found the mesh-like structure, and the term cell was derived from a Latin word cellular, meaning little rooms or small rooms. So that chamber-like structures we are seeing, therefore he coined the term, or the term cell was coined. Next, in 1672, Antony van Leeuwenhoek, a Dutch merchant, he was observing the organisms, or he was observing some components present in liquid water or other beverages. He identified that small moving organisms were present in a water, and he has given a term called as an animalcules. Antony van Leeuwenhoek is also regarded as the father of microbiology. He, for the first time, he has observed the living cells under microscope. Again, these types of microscope were made by himself. What Antony van Leeuwenhoek done, he has taken the sperm sample, he has taken the red blood cells, and he was for the first time to observe these cells under the microscope. Later on, in 1831, Robert Brown, he observed that all cells had centrally positioned body, that is, we call now it as a nucleus. So in case with eukaryotic cell, one of the largest organelle present in eukaryotic cell is nucleus. This nucleus, it carries the genetic material, it carries the DNA of an organism. So in 1831, Robert Brown, for the first time, he has noted down that all these eukaryotic cell which he has observed were having central position one organelle, and it was termed as nucleus. Now what is cell? Cell, as we have discussed at the start, cell is the structural and functional, or we can say the fundamental unit of life. Cell is the structural and functional unit of living organism, enclosing a bit of protoplast, means liquid fluid, consisting of numerous micro and macro. Micro means small amount, or which is present in tiny amount or lesser amount, and macro, which is comparatively present in greater quantity or higher amount. So a cell is the structural and functional unit of living organism, enclosing a bit of protoplast, consisting of numerous micro and macro organic and inorganic molecules. Organic, having carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and such elements, along with that inorganic molecules which may be required in little amount, trace amount, but they are present in a cell. They are dissolved or suspended in colloidal or watery matrix. So what a cell is? A cell is it can be defined as, it is the structural and functional unit of living organism, enclosing a bit of protoplast, consisting of numerous micro and macro organic inorganic molecules, dissolved or suspended in colloidal or watery matrix. The molecules are busy in reaction with release or uptake of energy. Now these characteristics we have discussed while defining the life. No cell is an isolated cell. It has to interact, or it keeps on interacting with the surrounding environment. While doing so, it will exchange the energy. The thermodynamics principle, they will act over there. The molecules are busy in reaction with release or uptake of energy. Next, the protoplasm of the cell is limited by a membrane. So all the liquid fluid that is present in a cell is been bounded, or it has been surrounded by a membrane. So that thin, delicate structure, we now know it as a plasma membrane, or also known as unit membrane. This membrane, it protects, or it contains the internal fluid of a cell, that we can call it as a protoplasm. All types of cell include three major components. One is cell membrane, that is, without membrane it is very hard for the cell to survive. So as soon as the membrane has been disrupted, the cell, it bursts out, or it oozes out the component, and it is not in a condition to remain alive. Second thing is the cytoplasm, the content which is present outside the nucleus and within the membrane. So we call it as a cytoplasmic membrane, or in short the fluid that helps or which is present in a cell, that is protoplast, or we can call it as a protoplasmic fluid. It is present in the cytoplasm. So second thing is, which is important component of a cell after the cell membrane, is the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm also houses the different organelles that we will see in case with eukaryotic cells. Several highly evolved organelles are there which are membrane bound, like your nucleus, your chloroplast, mitochondria, other organelles like endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, your lysosomal bodies or organelles. So all these are part of, or they are present in the cytoplasm, and that fluid we can also call it as a cytosol. The third thing that is essential, or it is seen in all the cell, is the DNA, that is the genetic material. Now in case with prokaryotic cell, so prokaryotic cell are those cells which do not have well developed nuclear membrane. The DNA in that case is freely suspended inside that cell. So we can also call it as the DNA is naked. It is not covered, or it is not suspended, or it is not been stuffed in an organelle like nucleus. So organisms like bacteria, archaeas, blue-green algae, they are examples of prokaryotic cell. While in eukaryotic cells, this DNA, they are covered by a membrane in all other organisms. So all other organisms means eukaryotic cells, where the nuclear membrane has been evolved, or it has been developed, which houses the DNA. This DNA can be further coiled and supercoiled, and we can call it as a chromosome. Apart from chromosome, there will be some other components that is present in the nucleus. So when we will discuss about the process of transcription, translation, we will come to this point that in eukaryotic cell, the process of transcription, that is formation of RNA from DNA, it takes place in nucleus. Then that RNA is processed and transferred to the cytosol. So the machinery that is required for the transcription is present inside the nucleus, and this nuclear membrane, it allows the molecule to be transferred across the membrane. So there are three fundamental things, or three major components that are required for all the cells. First is the cell membrane, second is the cytoplasm, third is the DNA, which can be freely suspended or it can be housed in a nuclear membrane. Mature plant cells have in their cytoplasmic large vacuole. So this is one additional organelle that is seen in plant cells, containing non-living inclusion like crystals, pigments. The bacteria have neither organelle nor a well-developed nucleus. That is what we have discussed. In prokaryotic cell, the cells mostly they are unicellular cells having not well-developed organelle in them. The DNA is also freely suspended in them. So what we have discussed today, we have discussed about the cell. Cell is the fundamental unit of life, the structural and functional unit of living organism, which is enclosed or enclosing a bit of protoplast containing numerous micro and macro organic, inorganic molecules dissolved or suspended in colloidal or watery matrix. The molecules are busy in reaction, that is, it is constantly in interaction with the surrounding. The protoplasm of a cell is limited by a membrane, that is unit membrane. The three important components required for the cell is the cell membrane, cytoplasm and the DNA.